Today, I want to start with a new viral video making absolutely bombshell claims about the killing of Charlie Kirk. The video is by a YouTube channel called RangeDayBro. This is like a gun enthusiast of some kind. The video is called Kirk Assassination. New video evidence changes everything. And this video has quickly amassed millions of views. As of this moment, nearly 6 million views. Now, this was not something I necessarily planned to cover, but dozens of you have asked me about the video. You've looked at it, and many of you have said, David, I can't really find any holes in what this guy is saying. And unlike other challenges to the official story, I think it's at least worth covering. Now, I'm going to be honest up front. There are claims in this video that I cannot definitively refute, but it's really important as we look at these things to ask ourselves, can I definitively refute this versus is this proof of what the person in the video is alleging? And those are two very different things. Sometimes we end up, in religion, we call it the God of the gaps. Sometimes we come up with something we can't yet explain. And there is a group of people that say, oh, I've got the answer. The answer is God or an intelligent designer. And of course, just because we don't have an answer to something doesn't mean that the answer has to be whatever the next person proposes. So I want to go through it. There is one primary claim here and then a subsequent one that I'm going to look at. Now, I want to do this with care. I don't want to show live action video of Charlie Kirk getting shot. Or the gory parts of the shooting video. So let's give it a shot and kind of see where we can get to. Now, the official story, of course, is that Charlie Kirk was shot by Tyler Robinson, who was positioned, if you're looking out sitting the way Charlie Kirk was, Tyler Robinson was positioned across and slightly to Kirk's left on a rooftop. So we've got an image from The Guardian here, which shows where Charlie Kirk was sitting. That's the bottom left of the image. And where the shooter was, on a rooftop across the quad, slightly to the left as Kirk as he looked out at the crowd. So like if you were in the crowd looking at Charlie, this would have been over your right shoulder, but Charlie Kirk was of course facing out. It would have been ahead and slightly to Charlie Kirk's left. Now that diagram, that coincides perfectly with the location of this horrible gory blood spurt of Charlie Kirk's from a bullet that was on the left side of Kirk's neck, right? In other words, if the shooter is ahead of me to my left and shoots at me, it makes sense that that would hit the left side of my neck. I'm kind of reenacting the angle here. However, what this new video argues is that this penetration in the front of Charlie's neck on the left was not actually where he was shot. What this video is arguing is that that, in fact, was the exit wound. And the claim is the bullet entered the back right of Charlie Kirk's head, exited out through the front left of his neck. Now, that would be a completely different scenario than the official story. And in the video, and we're going to look at, it's really frames of this at this point in time. In the video, RangeDayBro slows it down, zooms in, and identifies what appears to be an artifact. He says it's the bullet entering, hitting Charlie Kirk in the back right of the head. So as I play this, you will see that there is a moment where the red circle is drawn around something to the back right of Charlie Kirk's head. And the argument is that is the bullet entering. And if you continue moving the video forward, you ultimately see in the bottom right of the screen, it's sort of covered by these YouTube elements. You see let me see if I can even show you this more accurately. There it is. You see the what we thought was the entry wound of the bullet coming from Tyler Robinson. RangeDayBro argues that that is actually the exit wound. Now, first and foremost, does this contradict the official story? Yes, it does. For the bullet to exit from the left front, it has to come from the back right of the head, which would contradict the location of Tyler Robinson on the roof across the way. Now, you all know that I look for the differential diagnosis. I'm going to play devil's advocate. And there are a bunch of different questions here. Could it be that the artifact behind Charlie Kirk's head in the video is not really the bullet. Well, yeah, I think that is possible, and I'm going to suggest to you in a moment that that may actually be the explanation. Could it have been a ricochet? Could it have been an unexplained but unrelated artifact in the video? All of these are possibilities for sure. However, I did find another video. This is a video from a YouTube channel that is called Lifting the Veil. It has only 1,000 subscribers, okay? And in this video, what you see is that indeed that artifact by Charlie Kirk's right ear, which RangeDayBro claims is the entry of the bullet, looks like something completely different. And this is very slowed down, and you will see there it is in these 2 frames. You see that whatever that thing is by Charlie's right ear sort of goes up and away. I believe that whatever that is what RangeDayBro is claiming to be the entry of the bullet. Okay, I believe that this in the red circle that we're looking at in the RangeDayBro video is the exact same thing, this vertical white line that you see in this video. And I hate to sort of be gruesome, but you also see in this video that the bullet appears, I'm not going to play it a bunch of times. You can kind of, it's just starting to get gruesome, but you can go and look and you will actually see what appears to be the bullet entering from the front, as is the official story, and then sort of lodging itself seemingly in the back of Charlie Kirk's neck. So from this angle, it seems to contradict what RangeDayBro is arguing. I don't know if that thing we see flying off of Charlie Kirk's right ear is an earpiece. I don't know if he wore an earpiece during these events. I don't know what it is. But when we analyze something like this, we have to ask ourselves, okay, what was the official story? What is the assertion that someone else is making? In this case, it's RangeDayBro. And is there another interpretation? RangeDayBro presents this as if there is no question the artifact behind Charlie Kirk's right ear is the entry point of the bullet. The neck wound we ultimately see is actually the exit wound. We at least have one other video which would suggest, no, that's not what it is. That artifact is, you know, I don't know if it's shirt fibers. I don't know what it is. But I am telling you that I can't definitively say what RangeDayBro is saying makes ultimate sense to me. So this is now for you to investigate and for others to kind of think about. Now, I want to talk about one other thing related to this video. Later in the video, RangeDayBro points to something that others have mentioned, which is that if for a second we were to imagine that rather than being shot from the front across the quad by Tyler Robinson, that this bullet did come from behind or sort of to the right at a backwards 45-degree angle from Charlie Kirk. There are people who have pointed to what appears to be a plant. It's sort of at the top middle of RangeDayBro's video here. And there are individuals who have said that is not a plant. That is a person sort of dressed like a plant. It reminds me of the San Francisco Bushman. This is a guy who used to dress like, or maybe still does, dress like a plant on the Embarcadero in San Francisco, the Fisherman's Wharf area. And people would walk by and the plant would jump up and would scare people and it would lead to viral videos. The idea, I think, from some is that this is actually a person disguised as a plant. And RangeDayBro actually goes further and suggests that you can sort of see the outline of someone holding a long barrel rifle with a scope. I do not have any reason to think that that's what this is. And again, something being blurry and being unable to say exactly what that is can't immediately suggest to us that it is a hidden shooter. And I'll be honest, even though there is this general idea that if Kirk were shot from behind, this is roughly where the person would be, I don't even really know that the angle adds up. Now, am I convinced of any of this? No, I'm not. But what I am doing is, dozens of you wrote in and said, what's your thought about this? It seems so open and shut. I don't know that it does. And the questions that I have are, number one, that we see this artifact kind of fly off and away from Charlie Kirk's ear in other videos, and it certainly does not look like a bullet entry wound. And in fact, from this video from behind, you see that there is no entry wound. on the back of Charlie Kirk's head. It would seem to debunk RangeDayBro's claim, although I'm open to having my mind kind of changed here. And then with regard to the plant person, I just think it's not dispositive one way or the other. I mean, look at the plant behind me. And just because of the lens that I use, which has an f-stop of 2.8, that plant, which is just a little bit behind me, is blurry. Here we are talking about a plant that is hundreds of feet away and completely out of focus. I could, even the plant behind me could hide things or look different at the level of blur that it is. But just because you say, David, I think you've hidden a Game Boy in there, I don't think that we could definitively say that one way or the other. So that's my view about this viral video from RangeDayBro. I think that much like with the claims from Nathan Taylor and the Election Truth Alliance, the first step is always understanding what are the claims. The second step is verifying whether we agree as to what the evidence or exhibits are. And then only then can we go to the third step of saying, is this the obvious and only way to interpret this evidence in the context of the claim? With the RangeDayBro claims, I certainly don't find myself convinced. And I think the primary issues are different angle shows no entry wound in the back of Charlie Kirk's head. I don't even know for sure. I want to say one other thing, I think, just here very quickly. I don't even know for sure that if the bullet did enter where RangeDayBro is arguing, that it would exit where we saw the neck wound. I don't even know that that's actually the right physics and angle of it. So that's where I'm on it. I want to hear from you. Leave a comment. If you like this sort of, we've done the election truth analysis investigation earlier this week. Now we're looking at the claims about Charlie Kirk. If you like this sort of analysis of, I don't want to call them conspiracy theories, let's call them alternatives to the official stories that we're getting, leave a comment, like the video, let me know, info@davidpakman.com. There was a time when public education meant learning math, science, history, but now we are seeing Bible verses in biology class. We're seeing 10 commandments on the wall, religious chaplains taking the place of trained counselors, and it's all funded by taxpayer money through voucher programs that are sending public dollars to private religious schools. This is part of a broader effort to inject religion into public education. I'm against that. And it often is coming at the expense of real academic standards and the well-being of the students. Now, our sponsor, the Freedom From Religion Foundation, is fighting back. FFRF defends constitutional principles, takes legal action when schools cross the line, and protects students from religious coercion in public classrooms. If you believe in facts, in protecting education, in keeping religion out of public schools, I can tell you this is an organization very much worth supporting. To get involved, go to ffrf.org/school or text David to 511-511. Message and data rates may apply. The link is in the description.